Rightly or wrongly, action begets reaction. Rising cases of ritual killings appear to be making people edgy. A mob set ablaze. 2 persons said to have been arrested over alleged possession of human head in OjaOdan area of Ogun State. On Saturday, the suspects were caught with fresh human head concealed in a sack and brought to the station by vigilantes and some members of the public. But the angry mob forcefully invaded the station and took them away to exact jungle justice. Here we are again. It's
bound to get to this point because the frequency with which we were hearing cases of killings for money-making rituals and all that, I knew it would get to this point because, as I said last week, we don't punish people for crimes against the state, and rich people have a way of escaping justice. Something that is very blatant. The rich have a way of escaping justice. Either they do what is nolle prosecute, or what's the other one? That they'll just take some money and let them plea bargaining, you know.
And then technicalities.
Yes, or just find technicalities to, like what happened with Oji Uzokalu's case, you know. When a judge who should know better, he knows that the Constitution says you cannot be judged over 2 courts. You have been promoted to the higher court. You are insisting on being the one to read the judgment at the lower court from which you've been promoted. The law says you can't be judged in 2 courts.
Impunity.
Yes, at the end of the day, he read the judgment. After reading the judgment, what happened? It was on that basis, not on the basis that OjaOdan never told me.
Yes,
it was on that basis.
The merit of the case.
The merit of the case was brushed aside. It was on that basis that OjaOdan was allowed to go, and he went back to the Senate to take his job as a principal officer. They were keeping that position waiting for him. They were keeping that whip position waiting for him. Even when he was in detention, as if they knew what would happen. They didn't allow someone like Okorocha, who probably was eyeing the thing, they didn't allow him to become, to take that position. Because he was the person left. You know, from the east, they didn't have
that many
senators. So he could have gone to Okorocha, but they refused. They were waiting. So the rich and mighty in our country, they know how to contrive things so that justice is never served. Yes. Anyhow. When it comes to them, you won't get justice. And this is what we are seeing. Those people were convinced, largely all these smugglers from that area, they were convinced that, look, the police will eventually release these boys.
But you see them walking.
They just told them, said, let's go back to that police station. We can easily overpower them now. If we are up to 50 of us carrying daggers and all that, we will overpower these policemen. They went back there. The same people, they brought them out right in front of the police station. They set them ablaze. When people do not see evidence that justice is coming, these sort of things will keep happening. It's bad, though. We agree that it's bad.
We do not condone it.
But let justice always serve its cause.
We understand.
But in this situation now, in this, like, it's the in thing now, get rich syndrome. Go on internet, what you see will influence you. Our children, our teenagers, you know, if you don't have money, they believe that, you know, you amount, you amount to nothing. So this has led to this kind of desperation.
And the desperation has also been fueled by poverty at the highest level. Why it's not an excuse why people need to look for money any way they can. But like Jide said, once there are no consequences and they see people get away with murder, or in this case, kidnapping, they just stand that, okay, the rest will do whatever we do ourselves. Because remember, Ogun State was becoming notorious for acts like this.
Yes.
Human heads, the decapitated bodies of girlfriends, etc. And it's becoming a norm to get to a point that people become suspicious of their neighbors. So once in a while, just like it happened in the 70s after the Civil War, once they caught you as a thief, they will burn you. So it's because of they see that you cannot get justice coming along this line.
Justice is always late.
So the job now is for the governor and the government of Ogun State to find a way to change this narrative. Because once people do this, others will as well.
They won't stop.
We copy things. And that's my
And
fault.
sometimes they might just the wrong person apprehend the wrong
course,
person,
yes.
That's
and you
always
know
a
this
Many people have been killed. Like
mob
that.
action. Yes,
Many people have been killed. Like
do the wrong-
that.
That's
People
why
don't
they-
want to hear thief. They don't want to hear thief. They will just rush the person and
If you
kill the
remember the
person.
story of Akpo 6, if you remember those guys in the east that they were killed like that.
Opposites was even.
Yeah, more,
They were
more
not the
specific.
police. Those police guys,
brutality, they do their
because one of the boys was rude to a police officer,
They wasted
he
them.
decided to kill them and then frame them up as robbers. Then went to the female amongst them was detained in the office of one of the policemen. He then went, after he killed the boys, then went to shoot the girl. Even as we speak now, is there justice for the opposites?
The guy was reabsorbed into the police.
That's what
and
they
was
do.
promoted.
Yes, that's what they do. So why won't a policeman think that he has the right to kill people? Those of us who supported NSAS, it was because of this nonsense that the police were doing. It's not for any reason. Those who think that they are more patriotic than the rest of us, because we said NSAS was necessary, they should listen to what the president himself said. You cannot even like the president more than himself. The president said even that your message has been led loud and clear. And the president said some of the videos that he saw, that he was outraged. The VP also said the demonstration by NSAS was also valid, given the rate of extrajudicial killings by the police. So what are we talking about? You can't kill people. They were coming from a party at midnight. You then shot them, lied against them that they were robbers. But the thing is, truth will always prevail, no matter how long it takes. Now we know that those guys were actually not robbers. Were just victims of irresponsible bunch of policemen who decided to take life that they cannot create.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that with the finest men in Nigerian police force, such few bad eggs will go out of
The bad eggs are not few, there are very many, as we have seen now.
The rot is deep.
Sometimes you think that they are good ones.
No, they are good ones.
The face value.
They are good ones, but a good number of them are not good at all. They are murderers. Some of them are even robbers. President Obasanjo once said publicly that there are many armed robbers in the police. He said at the event.
Now we're now
You
seeing
see people never do wells who did not know where to go. They ended up in the police.
we're now seeing El Chapo.
Yes,
cartel
armed robbers.
Kingpins.
Look at that one now in Offa. That was that guy. He was in SAS. When he was in SAS, he was the one giving them weapons. Later on, they dismissed him. He now joined the armed robbery gang fully.
No, he never left. He was just their boss in the government.